Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking into Taking Shape 2. This is the unmade Halloween scripts that we never got to see on screen. And I think every script that I've read so far is so interesting. Some of them are batshit crazy and absolutely nuts. But there's something about every script that I've read so far that's very interesting that I would have loved to have seen on screen. And we may still see some of these scripts come to screen eventually because some of the ideas may be taken. Some of the ideas have already been taken for actual Halloween scripts. And this one is no different. This is the Bitterman script for Halloween 4 before the original Halloween 4 was made. And so far, this script is almost, I'm not saying fully, but almost identical to the script that we actually got with Halloween 4. So with this one and the original Halloween 4, did Alan McElroy actually write Halloween 4 script, or was it Bitterman? We start off with some interns at the building that Michael Myers is kept, this psychiatric hospital where Michael Myers is being held, and the interns know that Michael Myers is here and they get taken to a ward where Michael Myers is. Michael Myers is the only patient in this actual ward and Loomis is there as well and he's doing a chat with them. I don't know why Loomis does this, but when they're all talking and Loomis is talking to them, he tells them that yes, he's got a niece living in Haddonfield, and as soon as he says that, in the darkness you can see Michael Myers responding to that, similar to what we got in the actual Halloween 4. In this one, Michael does have the niece, and Laurie Strode also died in a car accident. After Michael hears that he's got a niece, he escapes because he sees two nurses who are lovers, who are together. He kills them, he steals the keys, and he escapes. After Michael escapes, we see this preacher on the road in this truck. Sound familiar?
Reverend Jackson P. Sayre of Dumont County. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
But in this draft, Michael actually bumps into this preacher instead of Dr. Loomis, and Michael kills the preacher and takes his truck. The truck isn't the only thing he steals from the preacher, which I will get to, and is absolutely brilliant. Michael then travels to Haddonfield where Amanda is. Amanda's name is Amanda Hatch, and she's 6 years old. She's not called Jamie Lloyd, and she's not 8 years old, she's just Amanda. Now she's living with her foster parents, and we've also got this other girl called Linda, who's a 17-year-old foster kid as well. So she's similar to Rachel in the actual script, whereas Rachel was the actual daughter of the family that Jamie was living with. Amanda and Linda are both foster kids. It reminds me of Andy Barclay and Kyle from Child's Play 2. So they're both kind of outcasts, or they feel like outcasts. But in this one, Amanda doesn't like the foster mother, whereas she loved the foster mother in their script with Jamie and Rachel's mum. Amanda doesn't believe that Michael Myers is evil. I don't know if she knows the full story, but she believes that her Uncle Michael is a good guy who's just misunderstood. So when Linda takes Amanda trick-or-treating, she stumbles upon Michael Myers' old house, so she goes over to the house to investigate it. In this draft, it's a yuppie couple who live in the house who are eventually killed. In the script, in another script, or in another version of this script, it was two young punks who lived in the house, but they also died in a similar fashion to the yuppies. So the outcome of the both drafts just were the same. The only reason that Amanda went to the Myers house in the first place is she saw someone that looked like Michael, and it actually was Michael, and he was wandering over to the Myers house. There's no confirmation if he saw her or it was only her that saw him, but she followed them over to the Myers house and that's how she got there. Just like Rachel in the original movie, Linda goes looking for Amanda and she finds her at the Myers house. She gets into the Myers house, she feels like she's got her and she's safe, but as they try to get out, the house is locked from the outside in, so they can't get out and they're stuck inside the house. So instead of going up to the roof, as we saw in Halloween 4, the original one, they have to climb into the basement in this one. The reason that they know about the basement is because Amanda was already in the basement at first, and in the basement she found Michael's 6-year-old Halloween costume that he had in 1963, the clown costume. It was the original clown costume that Michael wore. I don't know why it would still be there, but it is there. So it turns out that Amanda, from this moment on, wears a clown costume very similar to Jamie in the actual Halloween 4. Something even more bizarre is Judith's corpse is actually in the basement along with the headstone that we see in Halloween 1. So that must have been sitting there for a very long time. In this script, Dr. Loomis is again very crazy. I think in all the scripts that I've read after Halloween 2, there's always a version of Dr. Loomis that's very crazy. So I don't think there's any version that he's normal. So in this one, he's just as crazy as he always is. Sheriff Brackett also comes back, so it's not Sheriff Meeker in this one, it's Sheriff Brackett who returns again. And in this one, Sheriff Brackett is level-headed, whereas Dr. Loomis is not. He's crazy. He says that Michael's bloodline needs to die. So if he's saying that Michael's bloodline needs to die, there's an element of us thinking maybe Loomis is after Amanda as well as Michael. After Amanda and Linda escape the basement of the Myers house, they bump into officers Jim, Tom and Ben, who are some of the actors in this film, some of the characters. And Ben is one of the more prominent stars or prominent characters in this film. He acts as Brady in this script, and Ben has takes a liking to Linda, and I think they kind of are romantically involved before they bump into each other here. The officers take the girls to Brackett's cabin house that has no power in it, and it reminds me, and I keep on going back to this, guys, but it reminds me just like the actual Halloween 4 that we got when they go into Meeker's house and all the lights are out. As the cops are out looking for Michael Myers, they nearly kill a drunken man wearing a Michael Myers costume, and they notice that there's a lot of people wearing the same costume out there. Does that remind you of anything? Michael gets to the cabin, he kills all the cops as you would expect, and as he's looking for Amanda, Amanda is also looking for him. At this point, Amanda still thinks that Michael is innocent and he's just misunderstood. There is a moment in the script where Michael attacks Linda and Linda falls unconscious, and Amanda doesn't like it, and at this point Amanda feels like maybe Michael is a bad guy, so she covers Linda and she actually says to her, "Come alive." Again, does that remind you of something?
Oh, come alive, Rachel. Please come alive.
In the finale, Michael makes Amanda brush her hair, similar to what Judith was doing back in 1963. I thought that bit it sounds creepy, but it's interesting because Michael still has, and it confirms here, that Michael still has that young mind. He still feels like he's back in his sister's bedroom where she's brushing her hair. So he makes her brush her hair, but as she's doing that, Linda wakes up and notices what she's doing and what Michael wants her to do. So Linda stands in front of Amanda and then she starts brushing her hair as well. And as she's brushing her hair, she distracts Michael and stabs him. And after she stabs him, that's when Loomis comes in and he shoots Michael. At the end, we of course know that Michael Myers isn't dead just from a stab and a gunshot. So he gets taken into the coroner's van and Amanda sneaks into it to see Michael. She wants to take his mask off. So she takes Michael's mask off and it reveals a young child. I'm assuming that it reveals a young 6-year-old child's face. I don't know how that would look on an adult's body. It sounds strange. But as she's looking at him, he wakes up and he starts strangling her, and then she wakes up from her dream. So it turns out that not the full movie was a dream, but that one part where he was apparently a child, then that part was a dream. But after that, she looks out the window and she sees Michael in the distance just disappearing behind a building or a hedge. There was an alternate ending to this script where Dr. Loomis breaks into a pharmacy and steals a lot of syringes, and then when he gets to the house when they're brushing their hair, he starts stabbing Michael with the syringes with air until Michael falls to the ground. As he's stabbing Michael with syringes in this script, he accidentally stabs himself because of Michael, and he's shouting, "Die, die, die," where they both fall to the ground and they both die. In this one, Amanda still goes to the coroner's van. She still takes his mask off and we still see a young Michael Myers face, and I don't understand that part because this one isn't actually a dream and he doesn't wake up and strangle her. She just looks at him and she goes away, and as she's going away, as before it cuts to black, we see Michael Myers' eyes open, and then that's the end of that alternate ending to this script. So like I said, guys, there's a lot of similarities to the original Halloween 4. We've got the Michael waking from the coma, Michael escaping, the preacher, the Reverend in this one. Laurie is also dead. She's got a daughter who's adopted. She's got a stepsister. They're both heroines in the movie. Loomis is a bit nuts. We've even got the Ted Hollister style scene where there's a guy who was killed or almost killed, just like Ted Hollister. There's just so many similarities in this script that you can't ignore. Something that I liked in this one over the script that we got with McElroy's script is we actually got the original Myers house in this one, and they go to the original Myers house. Yes, we've got similarities to Halloween Kills as well, which I think maybe they read this script and thought, we'll use the Halloween house in the same style as they did in this script, and that's what they've done in Halloween Kills. I do like the stark contrast between Amanda and the eventual Jamie that we got, because Jamie in the real script that we got, she was scared of Michael Myers and she was always running away from him, whereas in this one, the girl was a little bit younger, so more gullible, so she, instead of running away from Michael, she's running after Michael Myers because she doesn't think he's a bad guy until she notices that he actually is a bad guy. I also like how Amanda sees Dr. Loomis and Sheriff Brackett as being the bad guys, because those are the two bad guys that are after her sweet uncle Michael. I do like the sound of Linda in this one. She's very similar to Rachel because she's brave, she's courageous, and she'll do anything to protect Amanda. We get more information on Laurie Strode's car accident as well. We find out that it also happened in 1987, and we find out her husband's name as well. Her husband's name is Kenneth Hatch, so that means that Laurie is called Laurie Hatch. The way that Amanda acquires the clown costume, I think that was more interesting as well. Instead of getting the clown costume from a drugstore, she finds it in the basement, of course, and she wears the clown costume for half the movie, exactly like Jamie. Brackett being in this film, I thought there would be more of a backstory of how he felt with what happened to his daughter Annie, but there's not really much mention from Brackett as to how he felt about Annie. There is a scene where Loomis talks to Brackett about Annie. He says, I'm sorry for what happened to your daughter, but he doesn't really say thanks very much. He just goes on to something else about something else. So it seems like in this script, it's almost like he doesn't care. Brackett does seem like the more responsible one because he wants to go and protect Amanda and Rachel, whereas Loomis doesn't really care what happens to them. He wants to use Amanda and Linda, did I say Rachel before? He wants to use Amanda and Linda as bait instead of actually going to protect them. Loomis does see an opportunity to do what he wants to do because in this script, Brackett has what we think is a heart attack. So Loomis takes Brackett to the nearest hospital, and as he's about to go away, he takes Brackett's gun, and that's how he acquires a gun. So this is the interesting part, guys. Hopefully you stayed to this point of the video. What does Michael Myers wear in this film? Well, he doesn't have the bandages as he did in Halloween 4, so he's probably got nothing on until he gets to the Reverend in the truck. Now, bear with me here, guys. He does wear his mask. He gets the white mask. We don't know how he gets it. Just like all the other scripts, or a lot of the other scripts, we don't know how he acquires the white mask. He just does. But what does he wear underneath? He doesn't wear the leather outfit that we got in the Kenny and Medina script. He doesn't wear coveralls like he does in the original script that we eventually got. In this one, he wears the Reverend's outfit, Reverend Zachariah. He wears a Reverend's outfit as Michael Myers throughout this movie. Now that seems a little bit too on the nose. Maybe that's something that when they read the script, they're like, hell no, we ain't using a Reverend outfit on Michael Myers. That would be blasphemy. Could you imagine it though, guys? Michael Myers walking about with a Reverend's costume on, killing people? I feel like the psychological aspects between Michael and Amanda, whereas Amanda feeling that Michael is innocent, that sounds a little bit like the Halloween 5 script that we got in the movie, because they've got that connection, that psychic connection. Now, I'm not saying there is a full psychic connection between them in this script, but it feels like they're closely bonded in this one. Why wasn't it made? This is a really interesting one because, again, there's no 100% answer. However, Dwight H. Little was brought on to direct the movie eventually, and he wanted to bring on his friend, Alan B. McElroy, as the scriptwriter. They looked at this draft and they changed it apparently so much so that Alan B. McElroy took the credit for the eventual script that we got. But from what I read in this script and what we actually got, it seems to me that all Alan B. McElroy done was, let's add the bandages, let's change the names, let's remove the Myers house, and now it's my script. Because the scripts were so similar, Bitterman tried to get his name attached to it, but they declined to do that. He didn't even dispute it. He did mention in an interview that he couldn't be bothered to dispute it. He just left it as it is and that's it. But if I were Bitterman, I would be bitter. How much of the script did McElroy actually think on his own before looking at the script that he saw with the Bitterman? Now, I don't even know if McElroy even said that he didn't look at the Bitterman script. If he didn't look at the Bitterman script and wrote that for himself, then you'd be like, that sounds a bit like plagiarism to me. I know that McElroy did say that he wanted more teenagers in that in the script that he eventually done, which is fine. You know, the more teenagers you get, then the more kills that you get, if that's what you're looking for. But the similarities are pretty scary. So in my personal opinion, guys, the only reason I feel like McElroy's script was chosen over the Bitterman script was because of Dwight H. Little's friendship with Alan B. McElroy, and that's it. So what are your thoughts on that, guys? Do you think the Bitterman script is very close to Alan B. McElroy's script? And what do you think of Alan B. McElroy's script? Is it all his? Do you think he plagiarised some parts? Do you think he even just took Bitterman's script? There's so many questions as to who done what, but also within the script itself with Bitterman, do you think his script sounded any better than McElroy's? And what do you think of Michael Myers' look in the film? Too close to the nose? Leave your comments down below, guys. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon.
Meeting adjourned.
I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played Skin the Cat?
Someone's in the back seat!